Hello, welcome in today's lecture. In earlier lectures conducted on Zoom meeting, so we have seen uh, nuclei and their properties, this topic of second paper in this semester, and we have seen how the nuclear structure is discovered and how the proton and neutrons is present and what are their properties, nuclear properties. So in first uh, lectures we have seen any nuclei which can be represented by symbolically, that is X at the base, that is proton number, Z is a proton number, and A is the mass number. Now any nucleus which consists of proton and neutron, and the total number of proton and neutron in the nucleus is nothing but the mass number. So mass number is number of proton and number of neutron. Now the nucleus is surrounded by the electrons. So what are the number of proton? The same number of is electron is there, which is electron revolving around that nucleus. So this is the nucleus, we can represent it. So what are the properties we will see. Before that, how the nucleus is discovered. So we go to the history of that nuclear inventions. So the first experiment which can be conducted by Rutherford, that is alpha scattering experiment, the scattering of alpha particles on the gold foil, and experimentally the Rutherford observed that the maximum number of alpha rays are passes through that gold foil and very less number which can be deflected more than 90 degrees. And from that observations he postulates the theory of nucleus, and in that there is a core part at the center is the heavy part, and total mass of that atoms concentrated in a small core at the center called as nucleus. So the nucleus is discovered by this experiment. And after that so what are the size of nucleus? As the atoms, we know that the size of atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, that is 1 angstrom unit. So what are the size of that nucleus which is at the center of that atom? And from this theory, Rutherford theory, alpha scattering, so the target nucleus and the projectile particles are considered as a point charge, so the Coulomb's law can be easily applied. And using this theory we can calculate the size or the derivation for radius of that nucleus. So using the theory of classical theory, that is electrodynamics. So this is the if we see the gold nucleus as shown in the diagram that deflection of alpha particles and alpha particles grazes the target nucleus. So in that case we also seen this derivation in last lectures. So the force between this alpha particles and the gold nucleus, so that is F equals to this equation 1.1, you can see. So 2 is the charge on electron, charge on the alpha particles, 2e, and Ze is the charge on the that particular nucleus of gold, and B is the impact factor impact parameter for this repulsion force, and the velocity of alpha particles v, and the time duration in which the force operates on the gold nucleus. the force between alpha particles and gold nucleus. So using the Newton's second law, force is proportional to rate of change of momentum. So delta p is the change in the momentum in time, delta p as shown in this figure 1.2, and from that we can derive delta p, which is equal to F into delta t. So putting these values of delta t from this equation, we will get that theta angles, that theta angle is the one type of cosine angle is there. So front side divided by adjacent side. So from this equation we can calculate the that impact parameter b equals to that 1 upon that theta, and if theta is 180, b equal to 0, then theta equal to 180, and for theta b equals to r, that is radius, then theta equals to 1 means cos 0 equals to 1. So the equation will become radius 1 upon r upon 4 pi 2 ze square upon m v square. And after that we also learn about atomic mass unit. So it is the smallest mass which can be used for the atomic systems, and for that the reference is one atomic mass unit is, that is 1/12 of the mass of the carbon atom. So that is 1 AMU equal to 1.6605 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. And after that, what is nuclear mass? Nuclear consists of neutron and proton. So how much number of protons and the mass of the proton, and with addition with number of neutrons and the mass of the neutron. So if we calculate, it will give the nuclear mass. So after that, using the theory, that another is that actual mass of that particular nucleus. So nucleus consists of proton, neutron, number of proton and neutron. There is a mass difference between actual nuclear mass and the nucleon mass. The mass of the nucleon means number of proton into mass of proton, number of neutron into mass of the neutron. So that will gives a mass defect. So mass defect is Z mp plus n mn, and that gives a mass defect. So from this mass defect, using the Einstein's famous equation, that is equals to mc square, so we are getting that mass which can be converted into energy, that mass defect converted to energy which can give a binding energy for that nucleus. And after that, the nuclear composition. So nuclear composition means any nucleus which consists of proton, the positive charge, and neutrons in that particular very small size. That size of nucleus is, that is in 10 to the power 14 minus 14 to 10 to the power minus 15, in that range. So nuclear composition, mass number, that is number of neutron plus number of proton, and the energy, if we calculate the energy of electrons which can be emitted from the nucleus. So if we calculate this energy with which the free electrons, if present in the nucleus with greater kinetic energy than 20 mega electron, then it can be possible to emits from the nucleus. But in that nucleus, the neutron and protons undergo some decays and emitting electrons. So in that case, the energy range or the kinetic energy of that particular beta particles, so that is 2 to 3 mega electron volt, and it can be vary. So after that, there are some general properties of nucleus, that is nuclear size, nuclear radius, and this nuclear radius which can be found by different using different experiments in theory. So by using the electron scattering experiment, we can determine the charge, the radius, charge and radius, which is 1.22, 1.3 femtometer or Fermi. So Fermi is 10 to the power minus 15 meter. And the study of alpha disintegration of heavy nuclei, which gives potential radius, that is 1.48, and neutron scattering determine matter radius, that is 1.2 femtometer. And we also seen the how the radius is related to the mass number. So the volume of that nucleus is directly proportional to the mass number. So we have the formula of that volume of particular sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi r cube proportional to a. So all this constant. So radius of nucleus is directly proportional to cube root of mass number. So from that, if we equate, so the radius of atomic nuclei, which is equal to r equal to r naught, equation 1.17, r equals to r naught, a to the power 1 by 3 means cube root of a, and the values of r is a constant nuclear radius parameter, that is value is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. And after that, we will move to the second part, nuclear stability. These are the graph we also already discussed the variation of nuclear charge with radial distance. So how this charge, how the density will related with this particular distance. And we can also calculate the nuclear density, which can be found to be, that is mass upon volume, which if we put all these values, so the nuclear density is in the range of 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. And we also calculated the number of nucleons in per meter cube, or we can also calculate in cc, centimeter cube. So total number of nucleons per meter cube is 10 to the power 44 nucleons, that is 1 into 44 zeros, 1 after 44 zeros nucleons per meter cube. That is very large density of that particular. And we also talk about how the nuclear density, that nuclear density is constant. If we take the nuclear density ratio is always 1, that is unit. Now the stability of nucleus we also have to discuss. So in last lecture we also discussed this topic, nuclear stability. So there are many new nuclei or atoms having nuclei, having some stable and there are some unstable, there are some radioactive elements. So what are the criteria for stability of nuclear? So the stable nuclei found in nature's simply classified into two categories depending upon the even and odd number of protons and neutrons. So any nucleus consists of that protons, number of proton and number of neutrons, and on the basis of this constituent of neutrons and proton, we classified into two. So the nuclei with even number of protons and even number of neutrons in first case. So in this group, completely that 60% of total stable isotopes that forms in this category. So the 60% of stable nuclei or the nucleus that is fall into this category, that is the nuclei with even number of proton and even number of neutrons. And another is there are some light elements with odd number of protons and odd number of neutrons are found to be stable, as they have early equal to number of protons and number of neutrons. That is the another case. So the example is, that is deuterium, one proton and one neutron. And the second one is, that is lithium, that is 3 proton and 3 neutron, that beryllium 5 proton and 5 neutron, and so on. This first case for the stability is also represented by with its binding energy. If binding energy is large, then nucleus is highly stable. If binding energy is less, then it is unstable. And second case is nucleus is said to be a ground state. That nucleus has minimum possible energy. So the at ground state the energy of that nucleus is minimum, so which is equal to binding energy. So the ground state is the most stable state. If the energy of nucleons that greater than binding energy or that E minimum energy, then nucleus is said to be in an excited state. So if the minus sign energy, which is the more binds, or the more attraction between that proton and neutrons. So the fourth case is the nucleus dissociated into its constituent nucleus for if energy equal to 0. So this is our 4 case. Now from that we can calculate using this mass defect. The binding energy is nothing but delta m into c square. So what is delta m? So the mass of nucleons is always greater than the mass of actual mass of that nuclide. So if we take the difference into c square, so that will give the binding energy, or the binding energy is the minimum energy which can require to separate or which can knock out the protons and neutrons from the nucleus. So that separation energy, how much required, that much is the binding energy. So binding energy for one atomic mass, which can be found by using, that is equals to that mc square formula, that is 931.5, or sometimes it is 931 mega electron volt. So this is the binding energy for one electron mass. And we can also calculate binding energy per nucleon, that is total binding energy of nucleus divided by the mass number, total number of nucleons present in it. And from this graph, if we calculate the binding energy for all the nuclei, then we can infer that there are some points we can explain. For the light nuclei, the binding energy per nucleon is very small. It rises rapidly from as the mass number is increases to value 8 mega electron volt per nucleons. So in between 20 to 1 to 20, so the energy, binding energy is less, except the helium having the more binding energy. So for this mass number A equal to 56, that is having a maximum binding energy, that is 8.7 mega electron volt per nucleons. And for that, if we see this graph, that is binding energy per nucleon versus the mass number, this is the graph in which you can see this graph, that is hydrogen, deuterium, that is tritium, then helium is some energy of 7 point something, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogens, and after that it is the graph is slightly increases, and at 52 mass number it is at large, that is 8.7, and after that it is decreasing, and that graph is decreasing if the mass number is greater than 170, and so on. And from after that we have also seen the mass defect and packing fraction. That is mass defect is nothing but the difference between the nucleon mass number and actual mass number. So that is delta mass defect equal to that mass of actual nucleus minus mass of the nucleon. And after that, if we, and the packing fraction is the ratio of mass defect to the elementary particles of that matter. So mass defect m minus a upon a. So from that we get the p. Now if we divide m upon a, that is minus 1. So m, which is equal to packing fraction plus 1, we are getting. So mass of nucleus upon the mass number equal to packing fraction plus 1. So from that this packing fraction concept, we can draw a graph of packing fraction p and versus mass number a. So the graph which can be that is exponent, it is decreasing with increasing mass number, and at particular mass number, that is at 20, so it is the packing fraction is 0, and after that it is goes into a negative, and after that it also increases to. So from that we can show some features from this graph. So p is positive for the element having mass number below 20. If the nuclei having the mass number below 20, its packing fraction is positive, and the mass number greater than 20 up to 200, the packing fraction is negative. So the negative between 20 to 200 packing fraction is negative, and p is also positive for the elements with mass number more than 200, and the p is 0 for that oxygen, that is mass number at 16, and proton number is 8. So concept of packing fraction is useful in study of isotope mass, and packing fraction of some elements are as follows. So these are the packing fractions. So carbon having the packing fraction, so carbon having 6 proton, 6 neutron, so packing fraction is 1.2 into 10 to the power 4. For neon having 10 proton and 10 neutrons, so packing fraction is in negative, minus 0.6 into 10 to the power 4. Now today we are also going to focus on some numericals problems in this topic. So we can calculate the radius of nucleus, then volume. The first example is that is also solved, that you can understand. Then mass of nucleus and the density of nucleus. So the 4 values we can calculate of the given copper nucleus having atomic mass is 63, and R constant is 1.4 Fermi, or 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. So first we have to calculate the radius. So as we know that we have the formula, radius equal to R equal to R naught mass number cube root of mass number, that is a to the power 1 by 3. So a to the power 1 by 3 means it is a cube root. So the radius of copper nucleus, so copper nucleus having the mass number of proton and neutron is 63. So 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 15 into 63 cube root. So if you calculate it, so we will get 5.97, that is nearly equal to 6 Fermi or femtometer. The second one is we have to calculate the volume of copper nucleus. So the formula of volume is V equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now if we take place the values 4 by 3, the value of pi is 3.14, and we calculate this r, that is 5.97 into 10 to the power minus 15, that's cube. So we will get the volume is 899 0.82 into 10 to the power minus 45 meter cube. Then we can calculate the mass of copper nucleus. So mass of copper nucleus is m equals to a into mass of proton. Then mass of a is nothing but, that is 105.4 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. A, that is the 63 into that mass of proton, that is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27. So we calculate, we will get the 105.4. Then the density of copper, that is in the range of 10 to the power 17. So mass is 105.4 into 10 to the power minus 27. And we also calculate the volume, that is 890.82 into 10 to the power minus 45. So if you calculate, we are getting 1.183 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. Similarly, we can find another example. Stable nucleus has radius 1/3 times of osmosis 189 nucleus. So find the stable nucleus. So we are having this formula, R equals to R naught a to the power cube root of, that is power cube root of a, or we can write as a to the power 1/3. So if you take the ratio R upon R naught, so we are getting R upon R, that stable nuclei of OS, so that is 1/3. So 1/3, in that case the cube root of, that is A and osmosis A. So putting these values, we can calculate the mass. The mass number of that stable nuclei is A equal to 7. So 7 mass number is of lithium nucleus. So the stable nucleus of that particular given example is, that is lithium nucleus. So another is, using a given data, we can also calculate the binding energy of neutron in the lithium nucleus, express it in mega electron volt and joule. So by the definition, binding energies, so what are the given? The given is lithium having the mass number or atomic that's nuclear mass 7.016004 unit, and the lithium 36, that's isotopes 6.001015 units, and the mass of neutron, that is 1.008665 in atomic mass unit. So the by definition binding energy, that is mass of lithium. So if you add the lithium 36 plus neutrons, that will give 3 lithium 37 lithium isotopes. So we take the difference in that two, we will get the binding energy. So the addition of lithium 36 and the neutrons, that mass is always greater than the mass of 37 lithium nuclei. So we are getting 6.0 if we add, and that minus 7.016 this value. So we are getting the mass defect is 0.007786 mass unit, atomic mass unit. So one atomic mass unit is 931 mega electron volt. So if we multiply, we are getting 7.35 mega electron volt energy in this case. Now if we convert into joule, so mega means 10 to the power 6 and electron volt means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So that is 1.6 into minus 13, we have to multiply to 7.35. So we are getting the energy in joule, binding energy in joule 1.18 into 10 to the power minus 12. So the similar problems you can also understand and write in your notebook. So in the next lectures we will discuss more about the next topic, that is of radioactivity element. Till then you can understand and write the concept. If any difficulties, you can comment or you can ask me on our WhatsApp group. So thank you.